Hey guys, yesterday I made a post about 5 new screenshots pertaining to the Legacy of Atlantis being released on the PlayStation Network store. And today I'm gonna talk about the new trailer for Legacy of Atlantis because a state of play for PlayStation has happened in between. Now unfortunately I don't have as much time as I would like to truly deep dive into this because I'm traveling tomorrow for 5 days. But here are my thoughts on the trailer. Let's take every shot apart after we watch the trailer together.
Been halfway across the continent looking for you. Hard woman to track down.
Well, you found me.
Ms. Croft, I hear when it comes to retrieval, you're the one to hire. This isn't about glory or money or making the world a better place. This is a puzzle, buried in centuries of silence. You don't strike me as someone who walks past a locked door without wondering what's behind it. There's a reason I can only trust you with this.
Gotta say, I captured your good side.
You're assuming I've got a bad side.
Okay guys, so the very first opening shot is that of Peru. Peru has been showcased the most across all the marketing material, which is understandable, is the first area, the one that they maybe fleshed out before they moved on to Greece, Egypt and Atlantis, which even after this trailer will remain a mystery, and I actually really like that. Let us discover that when we play the game. Don't put it in any promotional materials. Maybe a very shadowy hint here or there, but don't show a single room or location from Atlantis. I want it to be a secret we will need to uncover. Nevertheless, what we're looking at could be the entrance to the Tomb of Qualopec. However, I think elsewhere in the trailer we'll see much more larger and prominent waterfalls. So there could be multiple waterfalls, all connected via the same river flowing through them, okay? And I already see a stack of supplies on the side hanging from a rope, which could be a mechanic carried over from the Survivor trilogy, where you burn the ropes to get to the loot inside or something like that. We'll see. Maybe it's gonna be part of just a physics-based puzzle. We have yet to see. Game in development, mix of in-game cinematics and gameplay. Yeah, they're showing gameplay footage and cinematics. This is a very important distinction. However, it's not always clear what is a cinematic and what is a gameplay. We'll get to that later.
Been halfway across the continent, look.
Absolutely gorgeous look at the city of Kamun Sphinx. I've no doubt we'll get to enter it as per the original. I love all the vegetation and the sources of sunlight. This was one of the most gorgeous locations even in the Anniversary remake. However, the whole game suffered via its washed out bleach color filter, where they were just... This was an entire period from mid-2000s to 2010s in gaming in general, where it was cool to just wash away all colors. Everyone thought that's the cool way to do this, and that makes the game very mature and gritty for some reason. And as a result, it didn't look the best. Here, they embraced the color scheme of the original. You can already tell the hues of greenery, the orange. The greenery is an important touch. It was there in the original. We even see some hieroglyphics at the top left of the screen, but it's hard to make out exactly what this is. Maybe Osiris and Isis? I'm not sure myself yet. Anyway, the voice we hear now is Larsen talking to Lara that she's hard to track down. Let's hear it again.
Been halfway across the continent looking for you.
And we'll get to see Larsen. Before that, guys, I love what I'm seeing. Lara is finally appropriately dressed for the weather. Now, I'm sure that we could also turn it into criticism. You know, Lara's not supposed to be a super realistic person. She's supposed to be a video game character. I get that. But honestly, her being dressed like this for the weather doesn't take away from her awesomeness. In fact, quite the opposite. She's now well prepared. In the original, she just had a cape over her and that was supposed to keep her warm. Didn't really make much sense, so I love to see this. Also really reminds me of the opening of Rise of the Tomb Raider, where in the distance over yonder you'll see the lost city of Kitesh, which I think is a fantastic touch. And guys, I'm sure you'll open up an entire discussion in the comment section about Lara's backpack. Honestly, I'm really happy what I see. It is different from the one shown in the Catalyst, so I assume by that point she switched onto a new one, but here she's gonna use her original one, which I think is actually part of the course, okay? And of course, dual pistols. No one doubts the dual pistols anymore.
Hard woman to track down.
Hard woman to track down, indeed. So, this kind of blew my breath away. Now, I'm afraid this is all gonna be just the opening cinematic of the caves level of Peru. I'm very curious where Lara and Pablo, her guide, are exiting from, if that is a playable part or if it's just there to enable the flow of the continuity of the cutscene. This is the first shot we see of her guide. We all know how he ends up in the original, eaten by wolves. Lara tries her best to save him whilst kicking ass, but unfortunately to no avail. We'll see if Pablo will end up differently in here, and if their journey will be playable, or if it's all just a cutscene or QuickTime event. That's a part that worries me. I'm not against QuickTime events by any means, all the time, like a lot of people seem to be, but I also want the set pieces to be fully in our control, which is something the original pulled off. Uh-oh, first sign of trouble, but notice that Lara proceeds to save her guide, not from the wolves, but from the collapsing bridge. Nice! And this just takes me back to Survival Trilogy. And there we go, grapple.
Well, you found me.
Guys, the first time I saw this shot, well, you found me. I don't think Lara looks necessarily badass or even angry. She just looks like she summons her inner Karen side and she's about to tell Larson, who's on our side, that she wants to talk to his manager, which is actually what's gonna happen. She's gonna talk to Larson's manager, but this is Lara in her Karen mode, which really made me giggle. Okay, Amazon Game Studios, not the best track record. We'll see. Please prove us differently. Crystal Dynamics and Flying Wild Hog Support Studio. Now, this is very interesting to me because we see arrows stuck everywhere. This was a site of a battle, and I wonder if it was the last remnants of the original Peruvian civilization fighting of the conquistadors, if that's the idea. And heck, even if you played Tomb Raider 1 Remastered and played Lara's home, she had a book on next to pillows overlooking the window with the lost city of Wilcabamba, which was supposed to be this last refugee of the civilization that lived here, you know? I think this was even referred to in a book in Lara's home in Tomb Raider Anniversary. So maybe we'll see some signs of battle, and maybe just like Survivor Trilogy, it will result in collecting and closely examining all sorts of cool artifacts. We'll see. I have my hopes up. Now, the voice we hear in this particular scene is from Natla. After this scene, sorry.
Well, you found me.
Ms. Croft, I hear when it comes to retrieval.
Okay. Let's go through this again. This is the very first trap, not of the game just, but the franchise.
I hear
Using legend acrobatics. They are back, baby. Now, this was obvious even from the previous trailer, where Lara was overcoming swinging blades and fire traps, but I can't overstate how important this is. We want acrobatic Lara, and it seems we are getting her in the actual gameplay. This is huge.
comes to retrieval, you're the one to hire.
Miss Croft, when it comes to retrieval, you are the one to hire, indeed. Lara already sounds, even at the times of the first game, like an established professional. This is very important. I think this particular shot of her entering some downstairs area could be in the caves level, the area with the very first switch in the game, where you also take stairs down to activate a switch, because it follows the same sequence of her pushing down a
Ms.
switch.
Croft, I hear comes to retrieval, you're the one to hire.
Guys, again, we see arrowheads, signs of battle, but I hope this fight, I expect it might even be a boss fight, will be better than the bloody Siberian bear in Rise of the Tomb Raider. That was an atrocity of introducing game mechanics. Here, let's see what Lara can do. We'll see some of that. Oh, beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. So dodging him in multiple directions. Now, Tomb Raider Anniversary already did a pretty good job of that, but it was way too heavily tied to the adrenaline bar meter. Very restrictive, and it was the same dodge backwards or to the sides. The exception being a forward dodge, where Lara would try to flip over her enemies. Very risky, but when that worked, my god, it worked. I hope to see that kind of dodge in Legacy of Atlantis as well. Okay, the bear just soaking bullets like it's nothing. Again, reminds me of Rise of the Tomb Raider. The more I look at it, I see Lara even has her sort of crimson-colored outfit on and the gloves. I love this thing. My girlfriend has a very similar jacket, so for extreme weather. So this is pretty cool.
This isn't a...
Oh. Now, if I was to hazard a guess, this is entering the city of Kamun. Now, in the original, we've had an FMV cutscene of Lara using her bike to enter city of Kamun's entrance carved in a cliff face. Here, they're using a hole-in-the-ground kind of principle. And again, I might be wrong. This might not be entrance into the city of Kamun, could be just part of one of the Egyptian levels. But I hope they'll, even if they don't let us control the bike, at least show it in cutscenes, and there is a very severe absence of bike in everything we'll see here so far. Unless I missed something. Let's see.
About glory or money or making the world a better place.
Okay.
You're the one to hire.
I just want to focus on what Natla says.
This isn't about glory or money or
This isn't about glory or money or making the world a better place. Good. We want to hear this. It's all about a shiny trinket. That's what tomb raiding is supposed to be about. Now, saying that, this is another one of those shots that really blew my breath away. Giant, beautiful statue of Horus with ornaments and a beam of light. And of course, it's a bit of an adventure game/movie trope that beams of lights are always puzzles in Egyptian settings, ever since Raiders of the Lost Ark, essentially. We've seen a little play of that in The Last Revelation in the winning path through the Tomb of Samarkand, but it was just a block-pushing puzzle ultimately. It was pretty damn disappointing. So I hope they'll double down on this properly. Now, it seems to be another physics-based puzzle. On the left we have the sun icon, on the right we have the moon icon. So this is gonna be a light and physics puzzle. Now, I also see some indentations on the columns on the side, which look extremely climbable to me. I wonder if that's just a visual touch-up, or if that's supposed to convey how you're supposed to navigate across the environment. Again, navigation seems to be a big mystery so far, we'll see. But again, I can't really even tell you what level this is set in. It could be Sanctuary of the Skion, it could be City of Kamun, it could be Obelisk of Kamun, I don't know, and that excites me. I want new puzzles, I want new areas, let's go.
Making the world a better place.
And talking about light puzzles, here we go. Love to see it. Actually, we did get decent light puzzles in the Temple of Osiris spin-off game, which I absolutely adore. Now back to Peru. This is a puzzle, she said. Those are not pterodactyls flying over Lara's head, just, I guess, common birds. But anyway, she looks gorgeous. But again, I just can't get over how happy I'm about Natla's speech. She's pretty much setting up the fact that she's not looking for a hero. She's looking for a puzzle solver, which is what Lara has always been supposed to be.
Buried in centuries of silence.
And there she goes, applying violence to solve problems, which is a very Lara Croft thing to do. I love this.
Buried in centuries of...
And we'll be connecting the gears on water surface. Ah. So they took a vertical puzzle and turned it horizontal in a way. Okay. Actually, I recently had a chat with Steve of War about our expectations from both Legacy of Atlantis and Catalyst, and one of the points he mentioned is that he would really like to not see too much of a heavy use of the grapple. Like in Tomb Raider Anniversary, grapple was the solution to all the puzzles. Here, he wants them to be a little bit careful not to overuse it. And I have to agree with that, but in this particular case, when it comes to moving objects across water, I think grapple makes perfect sense. So we'll see if they'll manage to strike a balance of sorts.
Silence.
Okay, so this is the first smaller waterfall from the very opening shot. Let's see, we are at 51-second mark. This is the same waterfall, I think. Yeah?
Strike me as
Let's just rewind a bit. My VLC is acting up.
buried in centuries of silence.
Yep, it is. So this is the entrance to the Tomb of Qualopec. Okay, fair enough. We see the column on the side moving, attached to ropes of the mechanism above. I guess Lara moved the gears on top of the waterfall structure, the Tomb of Qualopec thing. Okay.
Strike me as someone who walks.
This could be the entrance from the caves level to the city of Wilcabamba? Or the entrance from city of Wilcabamba to the Lost Valley. I'm not sure. Because there is a receptacle on the golden doorway. Maybe she put the new version of the golden idol. And also the dais on the door seems to tell a story. On the left there's a person holding a piece of the scion, if I was to hazard a guess. On the right is some multi-appendaged creature, perhaps an Atlantean mutant. And above what seems to be another piece of the scion. But that's 2 pieces of scion, not 3. My god, I'm so intrigued.
Past a locked door without wondering what's behind it.
Lara looks intrigued as well. By the way, doesn't
Buried in
Lara look
centuries
like a
of silence.
different person in every shot?
You don't strike
To me,
as
she
someone who
does.
walks past a
Like,
locked door without wondering
if we
what's-
compare this Lara with...
Where you found me.
Does this look like... Okay, awkward frame, but... Yeah, does this look like the same Lara to you? Not to me. And I mean, I like both Laras, don't get me wrong, they both look fantastic, but
You don't strike me as someone who walks past a locked door without wondering what's
like a different person, you know? Very different person.
behind it.
Okay, we'll see. I think some of that footage is earlier and some of that from later stages of the development.
There's a reason I can only trust you.
And there's Natla. And you know what? I like her. She looks less like a cartoonish Disney villain than she did in Anniversary, where her entire cheekbone structure was just so exaggerated. This is what a real person can look like, which is great.
This.
And guys, I'll be honest, I have no idea who this is. We are in Greece because we see Perseus's mural holding Medusa's head in his hand. So Greece and Greek motifs on the floor. But this guy has an N patch on his shoulder, meaning he's one of Natla's employees. I hope this isn't Pierre, but some generic hoodlum. By the time Lara leaves Peru and goes to Greece, it is already obvious, as per the original, that Natla double-crossed her. So I'm curious if, other than Pierre and Larson, and we'll see if Cowboy makes a reappearance, Kane killed Code, and also the Skater Kid, but it seems there will be more generic hoodlums to fight, which... Okay, I know I'm in the minority here, but I always loved the combat of Tomb Raider 2. Ever since Tomb Raider 2 introduced mid-air roll, I really enjoyed the combat, and I loved that enemies shoot back. I loved moving around them, using the environment to avoid getting shot at and surprise them from the back. Most people, when I see them play, just soak bullets, which of course that's not fun, and we'll see how the combat system against enemies that shoot back will turn in Legacy of Atlantis, because we've only seen raptors, we've seen a bear, we haven't seen really fighting human enemies, and this seems more like some takedown animation. Oh wow. And this is not a T-Rex but Allosaurus, as you guys have corrected me, thank you for that. So I think they're saving up T-Rex for something different. There's definitely gotta be a T-Rex. They just don't want to show him yet, which I think is really interesting. Then guys, this is Tomb Raider 2013 all over again. Just look at the acrobatics there. This is the Survivor trilogy. See that? It is exactly that, with dinosaurs. I don't mind. Oh! Okay, so we are still in Peru, and this might just be the Tomb of Qualopec. We see a mummy with mechanical Oh my god, of course. Let me just go back.
Way across the continent looking for you.
And I want to
World a better place. You don't
look
strike
at
me
the
as
door. See this multi-appendaged creature over here? This must be Qualopec. Of course, why didn't I think of it? It's not Atlantean mutant, it is Qualopec. Ever since the first game, it is said that he's been injured either by Natla or by her mutants. So he has to rely on essentially prosthetic legs essentially to move around. And the depiction is him with those prosthetics.
past a lot.
But sci-fi prosthetics, because Atlanteans were advanced. So let's just see the tomb again. Perfect. There he is, with those almost wing-like prosthetic appendages to move around almost like a spider. It's because he no longer had use of his legs, the poor guy. They expanded on this somewhat in Tomb Raider Anniversary, which was pretty cool, where he actually, when you took the piece of the ski on, he woke up and started chasing you, and then that plot point was never again continued, which I always found so odd. So I'm curious what they're gonna do with Qualopec in Legacy of Atlantis. Really curious. Is he gonna escape his own tomb and then make a reappearance later on? Are they gonna save him up for Catalyst? I don't know. Guys, do something interesting with Qualopec, please. Experience the adventure. Egypt. Guys, do you see what I mean? Lara again has a completely different face in every single shot. This is not the same person than in the previous two. Or am I just bad at reading people's faces? I don't know. Oh, yes, Egypt is actually the city of Camus what introduces panthers, and they're making a big deal out of this. I wouldn't necessarily call it a boss fight, or maybe they will turn it into one, but maybe they're just gonna have an introductory cutscene for each new type of enemy or the more prominent enemies, like they did in Anniversary, and I'm all for that. You know, make them fearsome. Oh. We are definitely in Greece, or... Guys, maybe this could even be Atlantis. More traditional looking idea of Atlantis or parts of it. We'll see. Personally, what I would like to see would be traditional looking, almost Greek-like Atlantis, beautiful in its way, but corrupted by Natla's experiments. That's what I would like to see. And we've kind of got only the latter part of it in the original, where there were no traces of the beauty of Atlantean civilization whatsoever. It was just Natla's corruption. And Anniversary outright looked like some hellish dimension. So I'm curious what we'll get here, but maybe this is just a Greece, you know, and I'm overthinking this shot. Wow, I haven't seen Greece looking this beautiful since Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Now, a lot of this is just set dressing that we'll probably never be able to reach or climb into. I'm being very realistic about that. But I'm curious how the game's level design will communicate to us what is reachable and what isn't, and I hope it will not be too obvious in that way. See what I mean? Assassin's Creed Odyssey, you had those pink and purple flowers everywhere. And I don't mind. And Pelasmidas. This is the screenshot I shared on my post just yesterday, at the time of me releasing this video. It's interesting because the shields carry different symbols, and some of them have Minos' labyrinth monster face, you know, the Minotaur. I'm curious if we'll see Medusa shields as well, or something along those lines. And like I said in my post, Midas' left hand, or as we're looking at him, his hand to the right, has dropped down to the floor, so presumably that's the one Lara will be interacting with to turn lead bars into gold, not the hand that he still has raised. And I can't wait to see the cutscene of Lara being turned into a golden statue. First shot of Larson, and honestly, yeah, I like what I see. He always had this American lumberjack thing kind of going on. He was more sympathetic in Tomb Raider, my god, Anniversary, not Atlantis, where it was kind of shown that he has feelings for Lara, that Lara did not reciprocate. He even saved her life and ultimately got killed by Lara, which was Lara's first human killed, which was kind of a big deal in the game. This was before the survival era, where she just killed some random evil Russian stereotype guy. So I'm very curious about Larson here, and he looks a little bit older, more experienced, and he doesn't seem as stupid as he was, for example, in Tomb Raider Chronicles, you know? Where his entire backstory is he got kicked in the head by a horse and that left him a bit special. Although it made for fun dynamic between him and Pierre. Guys, I really hope we'll get some quips here and there between Larsen and Pierre in Legacy of Atlantis. They need to get this right. And all we're looking at is just some bar in India. This is all just going to be a cutscene. I don't doubt for a second we don't actually get to play in Calcutta in India where the cutscene takes place. Anyway, he holds a rock logo magazine on the back. My god, this cutscene is full of Easter eggs because this rock symbol is similar to RX Tech Mines logo from Tomb Raider 3. Let's just roll that back for a sec.
Gotta say, you captured your good side.
Okay, I like Larsen's voice. Really, really good voice. He says he's glad he's on her good side. Now, the magazine here is just an Easter egg fest, so Astonishing Travels. Carter Bell's Adventures, Fact or Fiction. Finally, Carter Bell is getting some love. For those of you who don't know, he's the other playable character in Temple of Osiris spin-off game, and I remember whenever we played co-op with Stella from Stella's Walkthroughs, she would always play Carter, because no one ever plays as him and she feels sorry for him, so... And he's finally getting some love. Okay, fact or fiction. Then Curtis Trent is mentioned here versus the unknown, and that kind of implies Curtis is a celebrity? And again, maybe these are small Easter eggs and I'm thinking way too much into this and shouldn't be taken too seriously, but I never imagined Curtis Trent being written about an in-game magazine. He's working for Lux Veritatis. Or maybe not anymore, I don't know. But why would he be a known celebrity before the events of Angel of Darkness? It's probably just a little fan service. Yeah, I'm reading way too much into this. Then The Cost of Courage, Dr. Whitman's legacy beyond the camera. Guys, Dr. Whitman is one of my favorite characters from Tomb Raider 2013. Every scene with him is pure cringe. And I love that. So I'm very happy they are mentioning him. In general, I really like the cast of Tomb Raider 2013, so very happy he's mentioned here. This either implies he somehow survived the Yamatai, which would surprise me, or maybe this is some post-mortem documentary about the legacy he left behind, because he was also very accomplished before the events of Tomb Raider 2013, and someone Lara looked up to, up until she got to know the real him, of course. And then finally, Lara Croft in Bigfoot Country. Did Lara come face to face with another legend? So in the original, it was very blatant and obvious that Lara stamped out a Bigfoot, and later, if you played the Golden Mask expansion of Tomb Raider 2, you got to kill an army of Bigfoots. Here it's kept a bit more vague. There's also a plus, Lost Islands, Hidden Signals, and Unanswered Questions. Okay, that's not a reference to anything specific, plenty of Lost Islands in the Tomb Raider franchise. Yeah, Allosaurus chasing us.
You're assuming I've got a bad side.
That's a cute reply from Lara. And there we go, and the most important information of them all, February 12th, 2027. Now guys, I have just one question. Why not February 14th? You know, Lara's birthday, when you released the previous two remastered packages? It's just... like, they got so close. But... no, it's 2 days before Valentine's Day. Anyway, this confirms what Society of Raiders have posted, that it is indeed coming out in 2027. Now, for a lot of you guys watching, probably this is a huge disappointment and you were really looking forward to playing it on anniversary of the release of Tomb Raider 1 in October, but alas, it was not meant to be. Now, personally, and I'm coming and approaching this from content creation space, I'm relieved because this gives me time to cover Tomb Raider Angel of Darkness Remastered before the Legacy of Atlantis. So, to me that's good news, but I fully share in with your disappointment otherwise. But of course, it will be out when it will be ready. Oh, pre-orders. Guys, there's never a reason to pre-order. But let's see it. Why pre-ordering digital goods? Just why? Pre-order any edition and get the Survivor outfit. 48-hour early access pre-order bonus with deluxe and collector's editions. Wait, so not only you have to buy the bigger editions, but you also have to pre-order them. So you'll get more terrible experience because there's definitely going to be a day one patch. There's always a day one patch nowadays. And you get to play 48 hours early. Guys, unless you're covering this for a YouTube channel or want to stream this, if you just want to play the game on your own, don't pre-order, wait for reviews and make an informed decision. Your money is precious, okay? You don't need to prove to anyone that you're a real Tomb Raider fan via just parting with your money like this, okay? Just sorry if that comes across as a bit patronizing, but I just really don't like pre-ordering of digital goods. I get it for physical, which are actually limited, digital are not limited, and I especially hate the fact that 48 hours early, before even day one patch, is being promoted and sold as a feature when it's actually the game in a less polished state. But we'll see if I'll go along with this just to bring you early coverage, and I know time is everything when it comes to coverage, so I'm approaching this from content creation space, but if you just want to play the game, don't rush it, guys. Oh yeah, it's confirmed on Switch 2 as well. Huh, I didn't notice that. Steam, Xbox Series X and S, PS5, no PlayStation 4, and honestly at this point I even expected that PS4 is... What is it, a 12 years old console now? That's gonna be omitted. No, 13 years old actually. Holy moly. So guys, those are my thoughts about the Legacy of Atlantis. Overall, I am... The more they show, the more at ease I am that this is gonna turn out to be a fantastic remake. More inspired by the original than even the cancelled core remake or Tomb Raider Anniversary, which I think is the right approach here. In general, I still, I guess, haven't truly come to terms with the fact that they're remaking Tomb Raider 1 all over again. I feel like Tomb Raider 2 or even Tomb Raider 3 deserves it far more, but let's see where this will take us. And my biggest concern right now is we haven't seen a glimpse of Lara's home. And part of me is worried, what if it's just omitted from the game altogether? This is something I will never forgive them, if that's the case. Give us the best version of Lara's mansion so far. Give us a safe space to practice her acrobatics, to find cool secrets, learn a bit of extra lore. Heck, you could use Lara's home as a way to tie in the different timelines together via simple references, Easter eggs, Lara's memories, artifacts, collectibles. There's such a big potential for that. I feel that if Lara's home would be part of the game, they would by this stage at least tease us with some outside shot of it or a small FMV or cutscene showing Lara's home from the distance, you know, something, but there's complete lack of that. In a way, the best version of Lara's home we got was in that Power Wash Simulator DLC, so maybe I'll have to boot up Power Wash Simulator to fulfill that craving. Anyway, guys, could be Lara's home is the very final thing of the game they're working on. And like I said, I'm happy that they didn't show us anything about the actual Atlantis, you know, the final quarter of the game. I think it's very important to keep that a mystery. So please, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Are you excited? Are you disappointed by something? What are your biggest concerns and the things that pleased you the most in this trailer? And what are your expectations from Pierre? Who we have yet to see in the game. Okay, guys? As for what's next from my side, well, that's a complicated question because the day I leave for my 5-day trip, Gothic Remake is coming out and I will unfortunately not be able to cover it. It comes out exactly when I didn't want it to, which is unfortunate, but when I'm back, I'll be covering that, and afterwards, when it comes to Tomb Raider stuff, I've decided I will cover the Tomb Raider 1, 2, 3 side-scroller, the absolutely fantastic TR Lee, which many creators have already covered, and I'll be a bit late to the party, but I wanted to take my time exploring it, and together we'll be collecting all 100 crystals, which is going to be a fantastic challenge. I'll either split it into multiple videos, but I'm hoping I'll manage to fit it into one larger video. And once that is done, I'm gonna be moving on to the Angel of Darkness Remastered Let's Play series, and I am extremely curious about that, because Angel of Darkness, I only played the original PC release years and years ago twice, so the remaster will be a relatively new experience for me, so that's what you can look forward to next. Anyway, guys, until I'll see you again, I want to wish all of you happy raiding.